It's her 10% British showing
yes,
again.
She still has her British teacup. Lonnie, what's going on?
Oh, well, we'll start.
All right, well, who's ready for some live girl chat? Don't forget to head over to The Real's Instagram page today and use the hashtag #GirlChatLive to join in on the conversation.
Yes, I'm watching, guys. I want to hear what you have to say.
Okay, you guys, earlier this morning, NBC News announced that they have made the decision to terminate the employment of longtime Today Show host Matt Lauer. Yeah, surprising. NBC News chief Andrew Lack said in a memo that Lauer was let go after a colleague filed a detailed complaint, which Page 6 alleges stems around Lauer sexually assaulting a female staffer during the 2014 Sochi, is it Sochi? Sochi? Yes. Sochi Winter Olympics. Lack said it was the first complaint the network had received about Lauer during his 20 years with the show, but had reason to believe there were more allegations to come. Lauer's Today Show co-host Savannah Guthrie made the emotional announcement at the top of broadcast this morning alongside Hoda Kotb. Savannah described Lauer as a dear, dear friend and said she was heartbroken for the brave colleague who came forward to tell her story. What do you ladies think about this? I was shocked.
Well, I mean, I felt bad for Savannah and Hoda because they had to actually, you know, it seems like they just came into work and then they had to talk about it. And then a lot of people on Twitter were, I guess, trying to, you know, I think Savannah posed a good question because she was good friends with him, so was Hoda. How do you reconcile the fact that you're friends with this person, but he did a bad thing?
I know.
And it was just a shock to them. And I appreciate people on Twitter coming to their defense because people were saying, oh, how could they act like they were his friends? I mean, they just found out the news. So,
because
you know,
everybody is different to every person.
Right.
And I'm going to explain that. You are not the same. I am a daughter, I am a wife, I am a sister. Everybody's relationship with people are different. I am not who I am to my mother, who I am to my husband. It just doesn't work that way. I think it's the same thing, how you can have a man that's an incredible father, but maybe a sucky husband. These things happen. And I think that it's unfair to put any blame on them for being his friend. And it is a great question of what do they do now?
Well, because sometimes you may think you know everything about somebody, but you actually don't. Sometimes people's public persona of themselves are completely different than their personal persona. So in these type of instances, I would just, for me, my thing is, of course, you don't want to, like, drop them, but I would first pray, because that's what I normally would do, you know, just help them through it with prayer. And then maybe just support them in the way of trying to get them the best help that they need. And hopefully they will accept that help. Because the first step of change is acknowledging that you need to change in the first place.
Absolutely.
I'm looking at the process in which this happened. I've worked with the Today Show for years. I've worked with Matt, I've worked with the team. And when you are there at the Today Show, when you're there in the presence, it's a very well-oiled, very professional machine. Everything's very succinct. So when I read every line of that statement, I really believe every line about the thorough investigation, the time it took, the transparency they can allow to show. And you would think for someone as globally known as Matt Lauer, for this news to not have leaked or to go to any other source except from their own family and their network first, to hear it first, I really respect that, because we forget when we read all these tabloids and gossip that there are personal lives affected here. You know, there's a victim, there's a victimizer, there's alleged news, all that stuff. So I applaud you, Today's Show. I really think that you guys handled it in such a respectable way.
And you know, this is the thing. I just want to remind people that this is not about sex. Everybody gets caught up with, you know, what's consensual, what's not consensual. Really, to me, what's wrong is that it's a person of power that is abusing that power, and because they feel like they have power, that they can make another person do something, and this person is fearing for their livelihood, and that's the real issue, and that's what we're trying to change, not only in this industry, but for, you know, all people, whether you're a man or a woman. If it's a person in power and they're intimidating you and they're, you know, making you feel like you have to do this in order to keep your job, we have to stop that type of mindset.
And you can actually see that To me, it actually shows that we are progressing in this type of situation, because back in the day, money would actually talk louder than the accusations. They would literally just pay the girl, you know, up underneath the table to be quiet. Matt Lauer is like their moneymaker. He's their like #1 person. They're
So
like,
you know
what?
it was bad.
Yeah,
It's
they
like,
weren't
and you
handling
know
this.
somebody that's probably having a mimosa right now, Ann Curry. That she probably having.
I cannot. I
you-
cannot. I cannot.
This is so heartbreaking to me on so many levels, and I'm just gonna keep it real. You guys know that Matt Lauer was one of my MCMs. I grew up watching the Today Show. To me, they made me love daytime and morning talk. You know, with Katie Couric, that was like the dream team at that time. So to hear this, it's so disheartening. I also have to say that something that really spoke to me was yesterday when Devon Franklin was here, and he said on the sofa live, he was like, people applaud all of this professional and public success, but we don't applaud people's personal success. And when we talk about personal success, there are people out here fighting real demons. We're talking about people who go to rehab, people who go and get help, people who say, I want to be faithful to my wife, people who say, okay, I have this issue, maybe I'm a little touchy-feely, let me work on this. We don't applaud that enough. We talk so much about how much money do you make, you know, how successful is your career, you know, how big is your house. What about what's going on inside? That's what counts. What is your personal success? What have you conquered? What demons have you overcome? And we need to make that more of a conversation that's happening. And I think that would really help a lot of these situations.
Well, there's going to be a lot more.
Well, that's actually what I'm looking forward to. And I say that because there's a season right now of what I feel is cleaning. I feel that God is really taking all that that's been hiding in the dark and bringing that to the light in such a powerful way that I almost am in fear. Like, I'm sitting back in solemn, like, respect and fear of what his hand is doing. And you see it because there's people who are stirring at night knowing what they did and they're having to come forward. There's people who've been wrestling for years knowing something is wrong, but they don't know how to speak out on it. Please encourage and let's create a very safe, welcoming space for those people who need to come forward, the men and the women, because it's very hard. But at the end of the day, nobody deserves to live in chains because of someone else.
You just said something right now that just made me think, and I'm curious what you guys think about this. I wonder if at any point someone that was the one that violated someone, instead of being told on, I wonder if anybody is going to come forward and say, listen, before anybody calls me out, I've done something wrong.
Well,
who knows?
Do you think that will happen? Do you understand what I mean? Without being called out, you said people are wrestling with it at night.
Well, there have been, from some of the stories, people have apologized when, you know, they've come and apologized and then their story got put out.
That's after they got told on.
No, but I think
is there anybody that has come out first before anyone said, hey, you did something wrong to me? Has there been anyone that has come out and said, listen, no one has told on me, but I can't sleep at night. I've had restless nights. I've known that I don't done wrong by people,
because
and I want to
they don't think that what they're doing, a lot of them don't think what they're doing is wrong. That's the problem. Issue. That's what I'm trying to say. What you're doing is wrong.
A lot of it now, you don't think people are, if you're having sleepless nights, you may know that something you did was wrong.
In order for someone to do that, you have to have great character. And the people
you
who are
do
doing
that in the
these
first
things,
place.
Right.
Well,
that was the
they're
case.
struggling with that in the first place.
If we're really honest,
or if you're beyond it and you've evolved and you've changed, maybe looking back in retrospect,
that
you
could
say
be
to
possible.
yourself, wow, I did some things maybe to a secretary, to somebody I worked with, I've done something wrong, but I now can see the wrong that I've done, and I'd like to make it right. How honorable would that be?
That would be
to see
awesome.
somebody come forward without, you're gonna lose your job, and now you've got to say it. That just because of integrity, they want to say this.
Well, we're going to hear a lot more about this, and we'll keep everybody posted. So we're going to move on to some lighter news, because this week, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle officially announced their engagement.
That is very happy news. That's why
I have my teacup and I have my royal tea. Whenever there's going to be news, I will bring out the teacup and the royal tea.
Guess what? Money.
Now you got to look out for
money. Adam said he might, you know, he knows somebody that might be able to get us to go to the wedding. We may be way in the back, but we'll be at the wedding.
Yeah, he said, well, they're trying to decide where they're going to have the wedding. So they may, from what I'm hearing, my reports, is that it may be a small, intimate place where they're going to have
I thought
it.
they had to get married at Buckingham Palace.
No.
Why did Prince...
No,
I mean,
because he's Prince. He's Prince William.
Future king.
That one right there.
He's going to be the future king. He has but Harry, you know.
He's
pick wherever he wants.
He's the fifth in line. He's
He
the
can
fifth
get
in
married
line.
at the court if you want to get married at the court.
At the
No.
court. Not at the court.
Okay, crazy question. Where do we want
Yeah.
to see them get married?
Yeah,
If you could pick their wedding destination, where would it be?
Maybe somewhere in the country, on the countryside of England.
Oh, that
We're
would
going to
be
keep
beautiful.
reporting about this, but I want to tell you guys, the post-engagement interview, the couple confessed that Harry got down on one knee and proposed while Meghan was roasting chicken
Nice.
in the cottage.
Details, man.
Cottage.
That was
No,
some
we don't have a
good
picture
chicken.
of the chicken.
Now,
That was some good
in fact,
chicken.
did you know that there's a myth that, quote, engagement chicken is a meal women can prepare that is magical, so tasty, and so delicious that when you cook it for the man you love, he will feel compelled to put a ring on it. That's
We
what
got
they're
a
saying.
man nodding his head off in the
he
audience
is.
right now.
Break
He's
his
like,
neck.
yes,
Oh, my God.
ma'am.
Now, an editor at Glamour magazine recently claimed that 70 couples have been married after being served the infamous lemon and herb chicken. So, ladies, do you believe cooking chicken is the true way to a man's heart?
Don't marry me because of some chicken.
That guy. Look at that guy right there.
But 70 people, that's a lot.
I
It
know,
is.
but like,
70.
I'm sorry. I don't want a man to marry me because I've cooked some bomb chicken. Like, come on.
Let me tell you
I
something.
know.
There
Men
is
are
something
so
about
simple.
when you cook, though.
Men are so simple. Let them know. Tam, let 'em
Well,
know.
okay, well, you guys know I waited a long time to give him some,
Yeah.
so I had to please him in other ways.
Yeah.
Yes. How did you do that,
I
girl?
pleased him with my cooking.
Did you really?
I sure did.
Did you really?
I asked what was his favorite meals. One was lasagna. Not only did I cook that lasagna, girl, I spun it with a little twist and added shrimp. So it was a shrimp lasagna. He had never had that before. It was good.
Lasagna.
Yes, I did.
She was serving that lasagna.
And beef stroganoff. But I actually called his mom, Judy, and I was like, Judy, you got to give me that recipe, girl. And she did. And I killed it.
So
Yep.
technically, you had the mother's blessing as well.
I did.
You had a
yes.
blessing from his mom as well.
You can cook anything for most men, and they'll fall in love. I mean,
Really?
that's why I tell you, millennials, learn how to cook. Some of y'all
this is true.
so busy putting
true.
pictures on Instagram.
Yes.
Learn how to cook.
When I read this,
I'm
though,
trying to read what everybody is saying on IG.
What are
and
they
it
saying?
is hilarious.
What
What?
are they saying?
Okay, we have at Miss Baker laughs said he gonna be upset because I'm on a diet, but my salad game has reached 1,000. Then we
Salad?
also- I don't know where. Yeah. At Massey 007 said, "What will he cook for me to make me fall in love?"
Okay. I like
That's
that.
true. It's always on the woman.
So when I read
No.
this, I didn't believe it because I don't know. I just don't think I'm not excited about chicken. If it was like, if it was a scrimp lasagna, I would think a little
thank
differently.
you,
Okay,
Jeannie.
that's different.
Thank you.
But when I read it, I was like, chicken.
You
What's so
love
big about
chicken.
that? Not really. I love seafood. If you really want to get into, so I would be up in there with your baby making batter and Adam and that scrimp chicken or scrimp lasagna. But when you listen to their actual interview, they said that they made the chicken together. Now
did.
that changes everything because
That is
my
true.
mind likes to go there. Do we all remember the infamous scene in Ghost when the two had the pottery and they both got their hands into it? Now take that pottery out and replace it with the chicken. Imagine the slapping, the smacking, the basting,
Yes,
the stuffing.
And the massaging.
Come on now, I'm surprised they didn't announce a pregnancy. That is sexual. Not making a chicken.
I
Like,
do think, like, have you ever taken a cooking class with your significant other?
No.
That is very
come on,
sexy.
you guys did. You guys made dessert.
We did dessert, yeah, at the
And?
Four Seasons. It was amazing for Valentine's Day. That was our first married Valentine's. We actually
made
cooked
the-
dessert together, and that heart.
The heart.
And it was very sexy.
Well, I talked to Wolfgang Puck, the chef. We did a segment together.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
asked
did
him,
you?
I said, what is the perfect dinner date meal to make for a man. He said, always cook a big piece of steak and make a salad because don't add starches because what happens is it's just carbs and protein, and then that way he won't get tired. I said, yes.
Oh, well, yeah. That's
You are
No
pushing, son.
starches.
Just keep it
I'm
on
so
protein.
sure Mr. Wolfgang Puck was like, you need the protein.
Yeah.
I'm so sure.
Love it.
I think this is great, though. I think that's romantic, but what kind of spices? Because they had lemon and herb. What did you use? Did you use anything special?
No, it was just lots of cheese. That doesn't sound great.
You gotta know how I do it
like
over here. I
cheese,
just
though.
keep it straight up. Sazon and adobo all day, every day. That's the way to my hands are.
Well, in my culture, we do a little spice because we like it nice. And so we go with the red rooster sauce. You guys know with the
yeah, the
sriracha.
hot sauce.
I love that.
AKA the cock sauce.
Now, the what?
It's a rooster.
Okay.
A rooster sauce.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, listen to this one.
What?
At XO_kiss_XO said, my husband had his engagement ring in a bucket of KFC. That's engagement chicken right there.
No, that
my-
ring, he was
really?
afraid of it
know.
fitting, so he wanted something to slip slide with some chicken grease.
That was good.
Let
That
me
was
tell you, for African Americans, the spice that you use,
What? What is it?
Lori
Lori
seasoning
seasoning
salt all day.
I know about that too.